All right. It's been a minute since I've done some replays. I've been busy with real life, painting, other stuff, and also just practicing my craft. I wanted to get better at playing the Dark Elves before I did any more streaming, and I think it's paid off. Like I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with a lot of the meta matchups. And in this game, I want to showcase a matchup between myself and FelKon. So if you've watched any of Turin's videos lately and a lot of his tournament streams, he's been featuring FelKon in a lot of them, and FelKon has been doing really well. In a lot of the games. So I knew that in this matchup I was up against a good opponent, and I was very excited to play against him. So I going into the matchup, I assumed I was going to lose, and fortunately that was not the case for me in this game. I think FelKon was probably trying a bit more of an experimental build. Maybe he wasn't playing super serious, but hey, I'll take it. A win's a win. So sorry for blowing the the secret there, but I was excited about it, so I'm going to share it with you. Um, that said, let's hop right into it. I'm going to press the play button. All you got to know, in terms of deployment, is FelKon decided to go really, really wide with a whole bunch of squigs and goblin spears, and then some harass units. So I guess he wanted sort of a pretty flexible line here, and he wanted to go really, really wide, which is something that you see a lot of these tournament players do. And for myself, my build was a lot more compact. I've got some dread spears, bleak swords, a cauldron, chill of Sontar, Crone Hellebron on her horse, buried in here with some Cold One Cav and a Sorceress of Fire. And the Sorceress of Fire is something that I've been taking a lot more lately. The Death Hag, I just want to highlight really quickly. Death Hag has this ability called Chill Blade, right? So minus 12 speed in an area of effect around her. And then the Chill of Sontar also has a speed debuff. If it hits someone, minus 36 speed with Frostbite. So the two of these can basically really counter a lot of skirmish play. If you have cavalry that are going to be cycle charging in and out of the Dark Elf sort of infantry, if you can top them with the Chill of Sontar and keep them near the Death Hag, they're going to have a lot of trouble sort of pulling out of the AoE. And the Doomfire Warlocks, I like them basically because of their Soul Blight ability, right? Like that's basically the reason why you would bring a caster. So for 1200 gold, you're getting basically an extra caster plus mobility and decent combat stats. So that's why I think these Doomfire Warlocks, not the Regiment of Renown one, but the regular Doomfire Warlocks, are becoming almost an auto pick for me in every matchup that I play. So moving right along, so I try and lead with my spears, right? And the reason for this is because these are sort of designed, in my opinion, to do the damage. And then once the fighting begins, to take the damage. And then once the fighting begins, I want my bleak swords, which I have in reserve, to basically actually start doing the fighting. And then I pull my dread spears sort of just behind them and use them to sort of backline once the bleak swords can go close. So in the initial engagements, what you see is I did see him sort of moving onto my flanks. So I tightened up my army here so I could be a bit more defensive on either side, because I knew he had the mobility advantage with all of the skirmish cav and the squigs. And basically I kept my formation very, very tight. So goblins don't have anti-large, so I tried to go in with a quick charge, but with the shooting over here, I didn't want my Doomfire Warlocks to get caught out too much, and I know the Boar Boys and the Tusk Mob were nearby, so I wanted to pull them back and safely out of harm's way. Cold One Knights get in here, and they do some work, and then Wog gets popped. So there is a lot of AoE stuff going down here. I have not popped Soul Blight yet. Effigy of the Git's been popped on my Death Hag, so there's a lot of a mosh pit action sort of starting up here with my Cold One Knights sort of being countered and countering the Tusk Mob. Goblin Big Boss is in here doing work. Wurzag comes down here and hits on the Death Hag, but this is a huge moment here. So you're going to see a Lion Spell coming basically right across the goblin infantry, and the goblins are not known for their leadership, right? And Burning Head actually puts a minus 10 leadership debuff. So if you hit goblin spheres with Burning Head, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to run, especially if they're taking any pressure on their flanks. So that basically caused an instant rout of spears. The leadership of those squigs is also not very high. So once they took a little bit of damage, they were gone. Here comes Heldron's big pool, and then the Doomfire Warlocks, I think sometime around here, have popped the Soul Blight, which is a really nice counter to the Wog effect, because the Wog is going to do basically, it's going to increase your number of hits, right? Like your chance to hit, right? But if your chance to hit is high, you can hit all you want if the damage of those hits is not very large. And that's essentially what the Doomfire Warlocks are providing. So you saw a big Doom Bolt come down on Wurzag, and Wurzag was doing a lot of work to the Death Hag on the Cauldron, but I do have Crone Hellebron, and she's a far superior duelist to Wurzag, so she was able to get over here on Wurzag and basically cause him to rout. And with the Goblin leadership now basically expired, it's going to be very hard to rally all of these sort of fleeing troops that the Goblins and Greenskin army have to deal with. Here comes another Burning Head, I believe. Yeah, right across this unit of Orc Boar Boys. So their leadership is quite low. They're down to 21 unit models. I do have another 31 Doomfire Warlocks who are going to get in here. The Chill of Sontor is going to tar pit them and prevent them from kiting. And the Sorceress of Fire is fighting an unfavorable matchup with the Goblin Big Boss, but she has the support of Hellebron and other spears around here. I do have my Cold One Knight securing my back line from this cycle charging of the Chariot and other sort of random play here, but most of that fighting is irrelevant. My concentration is focused here with the Hell Pit, with the Doomfire Warlock, with my two heroes, and there's really nothing left on the board that the Orcs can throw at me to really take out my Lord, my Hydra. So at this point, it's pretty much a done deal. Everything's wavering, and before you know, it's gonna break. So good game, very well played to FelKon, and he was a really classy guy. After the game, he said, good game, and was really nice about it. Like he could have pouted or whatever after getting clobbered. So I just want to say congratulations to FelKon, and by the way, I love your replays and other stuff you're doing with Turin. You're doing some really great stuff there. I also want to throw out a thank you to Atticus, who's basically encouraged me to keep active on my channel because it was sort of dying a little bit there. I did play a few fun games with him, so if you want to check out Atticus's channel, he's another great YouTuber who's built a pretty good following and a Dark Elf main like myself. So we had a couple of fun games there. There is one he posted where he beat me with an Arch Lector. So fun replay. I encourage you to check that one out. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll try and get a few more videos up this weekend because I do have a collection of videos that have been quietly amassing while I was practicing a lot my Dark Elves. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye.